Hey guys, Ray from Love You RV and Boat. So I have another update for you in our summer boating series. In the last video, we left Port McNeill, cruised across here, and stopped off in Blackfish Sound, did a bit of fishing, watched some whales, etc. And then we puttered into the Broughton Archipelago here and anchored right here near Echo Rock and Madrona Island. Stayed there a number of days. We had a rainy day, but some very nice days. Um, but there was some very good weather on the horizon, very calm and nice and warm. So we decided to go up to a place Anne's been looking to go visit up this Nimmo Bay. So it's quite a bit up north. It'll be the most north we're going to get this year, and the most north we've been in our boat. So we came out of the Broughtons here, sort of puttered through the islands, and because it was so calm, we were able to just go straight across Queen Charlotte Strait here. Sometimes it can get a little rough out there because you're in the open waters, but we made it across on a super calm day. Came in and kind of explored around these little islands a bit, and then puttered up this channel. And because it was a long journey already, took us about 4.5 hours. We went in right in here to Clayton Bay, right in here, and anchored for a day there. Kind of rested up, and then did our next journey, which you'll see the footage from. So we came out of Clayton Bay, came up here. We actually had to wait a little bit because you're going through narrow passages here. So you have to get the right tides or else you get extreme current in these narrow areas. So in this bay, we actually did a bit of fishing, and I caught a rockfish, a nice big rockfish, but it was a yellow-eyed, or known as red snapper. I had to put it back down because you can't keep those in BC. Then we puttered through here once the timing was right. Visited this Turnbull Cove. There was about 5 boats in here. Very pretty spot. And people like that because you can actually take your dinghy here and do a little bit of a walk through a trail. I think it's about maybe a kilometer or so. And there's a dock here, and there's a huge lake you can see up here. And people go swimming there. Anyway, we didn't do that because we were on a mission to get to this next place. Came out of there. We kind of were waiting for the tide to be right and currents to go through this passage here. It was really pretty here. These little islets here, just gorgeous. Came through there. Everything was calm. Got into here. We were getting a bit of a breeze blowing right through here, I guess. Not too bad, but then it was very scenic. We could see this big mountain up here, Mount Stevens. From different areas, we could see that mountain. It's got some neat jagged peaks on the top. Cruised through here, and then we really had to time everything right because it gets very narrow here and there's lots of rocks. So we came in here just as we were going through this passage. A float plane came and landed right behind us and passed us right here to get to this Nimmo Bay resort. Now there's a really swanky resort here. You got cabins for people. All this is just sort of to support the resort. I think it started as a fishing lodge way back in the day, and it's kind of become a real kind of a place wellness retreat, they call it. They have all around, they have scattered these little docks and stuff with saunas on it. So anyway, we went past there, and Anne did a good job of maneuvering through here. You can see the rock, and then this one comes way out, so you kind of have to come through here in kind of a zigzag pattern to get through. Now there's one of those docks that has a sauna on it. And then we came into this big bay, really nice, pretty bay. You can see the topography around. Now this area has been logged in the past. Pretty well everything up here has been logged at one point, but they've kind of not logging anymore, so things are starting to grow back. And this bay is fairly large. There was just one other boat in there, and then the next day they left, so we've been the only boat now. And we've been spotting bears. I spotted a bear on this shore the first day, and then over here on this shore. So I have some footage of that. Anyway, let's get to the video. August 22nd. Super quiet and calm here in Clayton Bay. We're just going to wait for the fog to kind of lift a little more and continue our explorations. We want to get over to Nimmo Bay. It's supposed to be super pretty there at the base of Mount Stevens. Not too much time left up here. Starts to get a little colder earlier up here, but still a good stretch of calm weather, and kind of warms up during the day. It's pretty over there as the fog is lifting. Yeah, so maybe a week or so we'll start heading back down towards the Discovery Islands for September. Maybe get back into Desolation Sound again once the crowds are gone. Nice little cove over there. A couple boats are in there. Can't see the mountains yet, but there's quite a bit of coastal mountains around us right now as we get deeper and deeper into the BC mainland coast. Well, a couple hours later now, and the fog is all cleared. Looks like we're going to have a gorgeous sunny day. They're not really calling for any high winds. Supposed to be pretty calm. Nice temperatures for this time of year up here. Around, I think the high is going to be 21 Celsius. It's a pretty scene over in that cove. Couple other boats left. There were just 4 of us for the night here, so not very crowded at all. You look at the scene here as the cloud is starting to lift off the mountainsides there. Pretty soon we'll be headed out. We're going to go more northbound over here. Once we get around the corner, there should be some really nice big peaks over there that we'll be able to see, and we'll head into their inlets. Remnants on the shore of something from bygone days. Looks like at one time there was a dock that came out from there. Nature is taking it back. Over to the side there's kind of a white beach. Yeah, that's pretty. Mount Stevens. Yeah. So we're just gonna head into Turnbull Cove just to take a look. Pretty little cove. Looks like there's been some sort of slide not too long ago. See that cut out of the trees and a bunch of debris at the bottom. A couple of boats anchored in here. There's a hike you can take around a mile, kind of uphill, and at the top is a lake with a dock. People go swimming. Popular cove up here to anchor in. There's where you dig in, go ashore, and then you can hike up to the lake from this point. It's pretty. So calm with the reflections right now. quite a bit of evidence of logging in the past, but it's still pretty stunning scenery. So many different shades of green. Getting warmer and warmer as we go up these inlets. Started off with a pretty heavy sweater. Now I'm down to a t-shirt and shorts. I think the water temperature is probably increasing too compared to the straits out there. Feel the breeze pouring through there. Is this beautiful mountain, Mount Stevens, which you can see way over in Port McNeill area, Blackfish. And right down at the base is, I think it's Nimmo Bay Resort, a really high-end luxury resort. I was looking at their website. You can actually take helicopter tours from there. They have fancy restaurant with a chef, in-house chef and everything. As people, you know, fly in here or get a water taxi in here. See some people on the dock there. And you can see us entering in here. There's Mount Stevens there. I'm going to try to get into this little Nimmo Bay. Actually, Nimmo Bay is right there, so Anne's going to try to maneuver her way through this tight passage here. Get in there. A couple tight passages so that we can get in here and try to anchor. Tide is really high, so that's in our favor. guess here comes some high-priced guests. So we got passed by a float plane. Anyway, we could anchor down there, but people say it's noisy down there. So we're gonna go further in, try to find a spot in Nimmo Bay. Yeah, it's hard to tell. It's not moving. Stump there.
Yeah, it's
Good job, Captain Ann.
Thank you, Nurse Matey.
Made it through all the narrow passages without grounding the boat.
Or getting hit by a plane.
Yeah, or getting hit by a plane. Come all the way up to the middle of nowhere and there's chaos. But we made it through the narrow passage here. Doesn't look narrow right now because we're at very high tide, but it actually goes to dirt at some point at low tide. And here we are, Nimmo Bay. Another boat there. I guess they set up these platforms for people or their guests. Another one of those platforms.